doing a live update. So we are how many days? How many days? uh, we have been in UAB hospital. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. Counting today, 23 days. So I'm going to try to cover everything. I know I've been putting a lot on YouTube, but anyway, here is where we are. Um, the whole reason I've been doing these updates is there's not a whole lot of patient uh, videos on YouTube for this myelodysplasia syndrome slash leukemia. So, backstory. um, about 6 years ago, 2018. So 2017, I had gone to my doctor, and everything was normal. Blood work was normal. So 2018 rolls around for my yearly update, and to go in there and get my meds replaced and all that kind of stuff. So all of a sudden, my platelets are off, my white count is off, my red cell counts are off. Everything is, as far as blood work, is messed up. So he calls me and he says, "Hey, let's uh, let's take you off the omeprazole for a little while. Like, quit taking it for a month and then come back in. And I want to redo blood work." Well, he hasn't really said, you know, what's going on. Well, after a couple of blood tests, I wound up over at Kirkland Clinic at the hematology clinic. So they watched this stuff. They've been watching this stuff for like 6 years, and it gets to a point where they think stem cell transplant is the only thing that's going to fix it. Well, when you go in there and you talk to them, when you get ready to actually do the stem cell transplant, they've been watching this stuff. They've been checking your blood. Uh, it's a scary thing. They start talking to you about your donors, and you know, my youngest boy was half match. They didn't want to use him, and my brother was half match, and he's really too old to go through the process, because the process of getting your stem cells is kind of like sitting on a dialysis machine. It's like 8 or 10 hours, and they give you pre-medications the days before to boost your stem cells. Um, and then you go through this big, long deal of sitting in a chair for 8 hours, like while you're hooked up to this machine that's sucking your blood. So there's a guy in Europe somewhere, Germany, 30-year-old guy, that they found a match with, that he was a donor. It was like they look for DNA markers, So he's 9 out of 12. I know this is long and drug out. So he's a 9 out of 12. So they get you in there and they explain all this stuff to you and they tell you what stem cell transplant entails. Well, it's they can explain it to you and they can tell you how uh, how they think it's going to go, but until you are physically experiencing it, they can draw a picture of how rough it's going to be, but man, till you're in the middle of it, uh, it's not as bad as it could have been. I will say that. Um, so they burned out my stem cells, my immune system, with chemo for 6 days straight. Then I got a break for 2 days. I got radiation on one of the days, like total body radiation. They let me listen to ZZ Top while that was going on. The total body radiation was to prevent graft donor syndrome, rejection syndrome. So then, after that, I got Cytoxin on the weekend. So actual transplant day was on the 23rd of October. So we're on day plus 15. And we've had the last day that we got Cytoxin has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days since the last chemo. So those 2 days of chemo was also to prevent graft donor rejection syndrome. So my numbers have been the ones they're looking at is the platelets, but as far as the graft kicking in, they look at your white count. So my white count has been sitting on 0.01 for 14 days. And then this morning, they jumped up to 0.13. So it's like 130,000, where they were at like sitting on 10,000. I think that's right. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I think 0.13 is 130,000. My platelets dropped from 16.7 to, which is, I think that's 160,000.7 to 10,000. They gave me platelets last night. But the big thing was the platelets increased to 0.13. So they're thinking graft is starting to happen. So possibly tomorrow going to oral medications for anti-rejection drugs. I'll still be on antibiotics and fluids. But I got to be totally oral, taking medications without issues, drinking plenty of fluids, all that kind of stuff. So where we are, we're past all the almost past all the bad stuff. There's still some stuff going on that, it just comes along with chemo. My beard started falling out, coming out in tufts. So I had my sweet wife come up here yesterday, and she shaved all this off. Well, my hair was falling out too. So, woo, sexy man. Uh, yeah, there it is. Uh, Everybody says it makes me look younger, but I think it makes me look old. Just old cue ball, no beard, no nothing. Tomorrow is day plus 16. I'm really wondering what tomorrow's going to look like. But hopefully it will be promising and the white count will jump. And then they'll make the decision about the oral medications. That's pretty much all I got. My immune system is in the tank, so I'm susceptible to infection. So when I get out of here, I have to be really careful. No buffet food. No Golden Corral or anything like that. No, you can't drink from fountain drinks. I don't drink soda anyway. It's like if you go to Jack's and you get the Pepsi out of the machine. Brewed hot coffee is okay. Brewed tea, like it's been boiled and poured into water, is fine. But there's a lot of don'ts and a lot of do's, and it's just being careful. I'm going to be doing checkups twice a week at the Kirkland Clinic with the BMT bone marrow transplant team. So with that, they said, depending on what my levels are like, I may require transfusions. It just depends. They're sending me home with magnesium. The Tacro, the anti-rejection drug, decreases your magnesium level. So they got this little ball of magnesium. So you hook it up to your Hickman catheter. So that's what I still got. And it kind of just infuses itself at a given rate. And when it's done, you just disconnect the ball, do your alcohol preps, and put a cap on your catheter. Yeah. So looking at maybe the end of February, I hope, if I stay strong and I don't have any graft donor issues and all that kind of stuff, being able to go back to work. They are, it's a sit-down job, and they're making, hopefully, they told me that I could sit in the safe room. It's this little room that is really for like hurricanes, tornadoes, and in case the building collapses. They got the same computer setup, radios, and all that stuff in there. The only difference is you can't yell across the room at somebody and say, "Hey," you have to call them on the phone. Say, "Hey, I got this going on. Let me know." But hopefully, I'll get back to work and none of my uh, stuff will be interrupted. But that is the plan. But love y'all. Peace out. Sorry that I drug this out so long, but it is what it is. Love y'all. Peace out. Be good to each other. Treat each other good. And yeah, you don't know what tomorrow's bringing. Thanks.